on to the next one. 11 to the Board for Information, first time reading board policies and administrative procedures.
This is the first reading of these board policies. They've been vetted through the appropriate master planning committees, and College Council has reviewed them. Some of them are in compliance with changes in law and recommendations from the league, and some are because changes that were necessary according to whichever respective master planning committee they fell under. So this is a first reading. If you have any questions, happy to answer them. You'll have a second chance of this when you approve them at the next meeting, or consider them for approval at the next meeting.
Any questions from the board?
But, I mean, if I read through them, but if we read through them and compare with other schools and have some questions, do we just send that to you? Or where does that go?
Sure, you can send them to me, and I'll either direct it to the appropriate staff to get an answer if I don't know it, or I'll send you back the league language, because a lot of the language you see reflects the recommendations from the league, and then many colleges adopt that language, and that reflects the changes you see. So yeah, send them directly to me, and if I can't, then we'll make sure you get the right answer from someone on campus.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you. Moving on to item 12, reports. Reports from more board members. Jean, we can start with you.
Okay, I have no report. I've been out of the country.
Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
Awesome. Okay. Ernie?
I would like to start off by commending Dr. Robert Shepard on his excellent work in putting together an excellent State of the College address. It was very well attended. A lot of important members of the community were there. And President Vitale did an excellent job of articulating the importance and the value of our community college here in Merced County. And again, I'd like to thank the Students of the Month, the Student of the Year, and all the part-time faculty that were acknowledged today. And also, again, I'd like to show my appreciation to President Vitale about the presentation on our athletics program. According to Wikipedia, we have had 11 baseball players, go to the major leagues as well. So I think that's a pretty cool stat. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Lashbrook.
I got to attend the State of College event, and it was really nice to see people, good to have a new era open up and so well celebrated. Working with some people on the MCFA negotiations, and it's pretty intense and concentrated right now, but trying to get things done in a reasonable amount of time. Just say it's been mostly collegial. I mean, very collegial, but I'm just seeing now it's getting past the easy part, so it's been interesting. And I just look forward to getting to as many of these celebrations of graduations and awards as possible this next couple of weeks. Also my busiest part of my life too, but this year is awesome.
Thanks, Cindy. And moving on to Trustee Jordan.
Thank you. As I said last time, I was going to tell you a little bit about my Japanese experience. It's a wonderful relationship that we have with Human Academy, and I was more impressed getting to see it at the roots there in Japan. I had the privilege of addressing 2 opening ceremonies, one for the Academy in Osaka and the other in Tokyo. And it was very unique to watch the students. They were very enthused. However, with their cultural background, they don't show as much enthusiasm as we do, but you could tell that they were very excited about this new step in their life. Also, I had the privilege of attending one of the high schools and listened to a gentleman from YES address a group of students who would like like to come to Merced College. I think the overwhelming interest that was shown was that they wanted to come and play baseball. I think they have stars in their eyes about playing on the national scene. But it was very interesting. I was very depressed, however. I met several of the teachers at the high school, and I made a big mistake. I said, what is the beginning salary for a teacher? And when I was told that's below poverty level in California in the United States, $20,000. I was absolutely shocked because they work very, very hard. I've never seen a group of people who are so industrious. Another thing that bothered me was that they don't observe weekends. They work 7 days a week. Several of the people I talked to from the Human Academy, their days off were Monday and Thursday. There were no 2 days consecutively for being off. Another thing that shocked me, I said, well, most of you don't drive to work. And they said, well, no, we don't drive to work because we don't even have a car. It costs $4,000 to get a driver's license in Japan. And when I was driving down the street today, I wish that was the case. When I saw several people that I either had to dodge or move over because they were not paying attention.
I said I'm sorry.
$4,000, and it takes 2 months of study before you are granted your license, provided you pass everything. So I think we need to continue to develop this relationship we have with the Human Academy. The owner and leader, Mr. Sato, through the interpreters, made it very clear that he is very interested in expanding the relationship that they have with Merced College. We have a great honor that they have selected us as one of the colleges to receive some of their students. So I just wanted to bring you up to date on that. It was interesting. We made it very clear that we did not eat raw fish. And every time we went out, everybody already knew the Jordans don't eat raw fish. But I did let myself go and eat something I had never eaten before. I'm not saying I will ever eat it again. When they prepared the shrimp on the grill, they took the head of the shrimp and they mash it down flat and cook it. It's like a wonderful, kind of wonderful potato chip, except for all those little things that stick out. But I did let myself go and add that. And I thank the college for giving me this wonderful opportunity to go. I had been to Japan as a junior in high school when I won the national essay contest for the Merchant Marine. And we got to be in Japan for 3 weeks. However, I will tell you, the prices have changed. If you ever plan to go to Japan, be sure and save up a lot of money. Because you can't even go out for an average little meal for less than $70 to $100 a person. They did treat us very well. They took us out to several different things. So the night that the president of the Human Academy took us out with several of his assistants, he said, I'm sure you're tired of Japanese food, so tonight we're going to have Chinese food. And it was an 11-course meal. So we had a long time to do a lot of conversing with each other. And he kept coming back to the subject of baseball. You would think that the Japanese had invented baseball. They are just absolutely in love with baseball. I've never seen a culture where people work so hard. They are so committed it isn't any wonder that their students who come here work really hard to achieve, because their parents really do make a big sacrifice in order to send them here. I asked how much does it cost to go to the high school. It's a private high school. You have to pay $8,000 and take a major test to see if you qualify for that high school. And then it's an additional $450 a month. And I thought that was kind of steep, especially when the teachers were making $20,000. On the other side, I want to congratulate Joe for having some short meetings, but it is a matter that you had to do so to make up for that eternal meeting we had earlier in your presidency.
It seems like you're determined to go till 10 o'clock tonight.
Set the timer.
And I do congratulate all those who were honored tonight. And I do want to thank MCFA for taking a couple of these characters up here out for dinner recently. We had a wonderful time. Both Cindy and I enjoyed the evening. And I did mention something that night that I want to mention here. If there's one thing that has bothered me since I have come on this board, we must do our very best to increase the salary of our teachers. That so many years have gone by, and I think we must make this a #1 priority. I know things are tight, but as far as this board member is concerned, I am committed to doing the very best that I can to see that we do honor those who are where the rubber meets the road. If we didn't have the instructors, we would just kind of close this place up and go do something else. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee Jordan, and thank you for taking the raising your hand to take this trip to Japan. It seems like it was very eye-opening.
Thank you.
Okay, Trustee Ramirez.
So good evening, everyone, board members. I've had somewhat of a busy month, but it's been very, very enjoyable. Last Friday, I attended an excellent reception for the CARE program for CalWorks that was held at the faculty the staff dining room. And it was the people there and the stories there are just amazing. I met a student who had, no less than 6, tragedies all at once happened to her, and yet she was, optimistic and hopeful about her future. It really made me realize how fortunate I am and how fortunate so many of us are. So as I got to hand out certificates to each one of them, I thanked them for their commitment and for choosing Merced College. I mean, I think that these are the kind of people that are going to go out there and do great things with their commitment to the college, and I think these are graduates that we're going to be very, very proud of. So that was an excellent event. I also had the opportunity to be part of the Puente Mentor program a couple of weeks ago. I gave my insight to students who might be considering law or transferring to a university about how I got there, how I made my choice, how when I realized my choice was incorrect, I switched majors and pursued something else, and why being free to do that is important. So I got a good vibe out of that and hope that I can continue the relationship that way. I got a nice mug, Merced College mug that said Puente on it. And then I got a very nice stole for graduation that says Merced College Puente, and I understand that I'm the first person to ever be gifted one of those, and I'm certainly very grateful for that. I went to the State of the College event, which was an excellent event, well attended, and I think that Merced College is definitely on the radar of the business community, the ag community, the educational community, and I think that the excitement and the optimism of going forward was palpable, and I think that we can work in developing the support that we felt that day, so I think there's good things ahead. I also attended the community conversations with the Fresno State President, Dr. Castro, who will also be the commencement speaker this year. That was a very nice event. I talked to Mrs. Castro, who also was very involved with a Renaissance scholarship at Fresno State. I talked to her a little bit of an idea that was planted in my head when we were at a training, which was an expungement fair where students who are close to graduating with a certain GPA have the opportunity to have their record expunged as part of getting close to graduation, and then that way they have their certificate and a good opportunity to obtain maybe employment that wouldn't have been there. So Fresno State was very interested in trying to develop a program like that, and so that's something that maybe we can talk further as a board about, but we saw that 670 students last year transferred or attended Fresno State from Merced County, and 470 of them were transfer students that graduated from Merced College. So that's a big number for us. We talked about what impacted programs are, which maybe less impacted programs are that also get you in the door. And there was just a lot of conversation, and I think that there's a good friendship there that can develop into a partnership that'll benefit our students. And you know, tomorrow, or no, on Thursday, I'll be meeting with Antonio Villaraigosa. He was the mayor of LA, and he's going to be running for governor. And I was invited because I'm an elected official and as a representative of Merced College. And so I just want you to know that when I'm talking to him, I'm going to make sure that he realizes that not only is community college a door for success, and it certainly was that for me, but I want him to know just in particular how important Merced College is to the people here, to the economy here, and how this is really the catalyst for an exciting and successful life economically, personally, socially, for a lot of our students. So, you know, I'm proud to represent Merced College. I hope that that comes through when I speak, and if I can ever say anything highly about Merced College on any stage, I will certainly be proud to do so. So thank you very much for this time, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Ramirez. On to Trustee Bureau.
Thank you.
No report? All right. And mine, I'll try to keep it brief. Just want to congratulate the student of the month and the student of the year, and also faculty of the year, part-time faculty of the year. Also, thank you for that athletics report. That was very informative, and we're very proud of the athletics program as well. Reminder, if trustees can make this, I think it's this Friday, is our merit and awards reception at the Los Baños campus. So it's kind of like a little mini graduation. It's pretty awesome. So that'll be Friday at 6 p.m. And I know Gene has attended in the past, so if you guys have the time, come on out. Very excited about all the, the expenditures that will be made on campus to help improve the campus, to make Merced College an even better place for our students to learn. So that's exciting. And just really proud of everybody. I'm proud of the board, proud of everybody here that, it's fun to come to meetings now, and especially when we get done by 8 o'clock or sooner. But we get a lot done in this time period, and it seems like hopefully this is what we'll continue to do the rest of the year. And other than that, I will see you guys at graduation on the 26th as well. And hopefully I'll be at that meeting on Thursday with you there, Carmen, as well. So, all right, that's it for me as well. So moving on to the superintendent report.
Okay, I will be brief as well. I have a lot of invitations to events that are coming up I want to make sure you're aware of. I will also capture these and send them to you via email. First of all, I want to thank you all for the allocation of the one-time funds. We've been good stewards of our funds that the state has given us so far. Many of the projects have gone to increase the services that we have for students and to better engage students in learning opportunities on campus, and we'll continue to do that. I also want to mention the report that was given by MCFA regarding the UC system having $175 million hidden from their board. I want to assure you that we have none of that on this campus.
Which is good news and bad news.
Unfortunately, yes, unfortunately we do not. Surprise, but don't we wish, that would be nice. I'll give you an update on accreditation. The commission will take action on our accreditation status at their meeting in June, the week of June 6th. As soon as I have a report back from the commission, I will make sure that you all are notified. We most likely will not hear what their decision is until the end of June or early July. But we have already begun the work of the preliminary recommendations we received, and we're working hard on making sure that we address those recommendations appropriately. Several of you have mentioned we have graduation May 26, which is a reminder of why we do what we do, and it's a wonderful experience to watch students walk across that stage who have worked so hard. So I hope that we have all of our trustees in attendance. This Thursday we have the EOP&S celebration at 11:30, and that will be held just outside of this building in the amphitheater. Trustee Gutierrez already mentioned the merit ceremony this Friday at the Los Banos campus. There's several events this Friday. Alpha Gamma Sigma has their award ceremony this Friday evening. And then there's also the literature review that's happening here in Merced. So we have our administration team we will be dividing and going to as many events as we can, and I hope that you'll join us in doing that. We also have several graduations. The registered nursing graduation is May 22nd at 6 p.m. The next evening is the LVN graduation, May 23rd at 6 p.m. And on May 25th is the nursing assistant graduation at 5:30. And we also have here on campus the retiree reception, May 23rd at 2 p.m. So tell your families you'll see them in June. In the coming month, we will also be bringing to you all a report on a branding study. We have engaged with the firm in Fresno to take a look at our brand. They've hosted several focus groups and throughout our service area. We've been engaged with them through the Educational Master Planning Committee and with Cabinet. And we will have a presentation for you possibly at the June board meeting, as well as a presentation of a new logo for Merced College. So as we start 2017-18, it would be a fresh new look for our district, and we're excited about that presentation. And it will come to you for approval, of course, as we change the logo of the district and update it. Strategic planning and educational master plan discussions are happening on the revision of both of those, which will happen in the fall, and I'll be bringing a plan to you all in the coming months regarding both of those plans. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chris. All right, item 13, future discussion items from board members. Or are there any items that you'd like to consider for the next meeting? Trustee Ashbrook?
Okay, something just came to mind as we're juggling these things all around. I know that there's some water-filled stations, and I know that there's some Merced College bottles, and I think that the board should be a leader and be refilling your water into the water stations if possible. And the students have had, it seems like a little bit of a rough year, but that's their sustainability, what do they call it?
Challenge.
Yeah. I'm hoping maybe to kind of hear your idea on the status on that. And
Maybe you'll get us back on track with that next year.
And the other thing's just on agenda items, when we're approving some of the contracts for facilities and changes, it'd be nice to see at least one quick architects or engineers rendering. I'm just looking at a price on a list or something that's nothing. I mean, needs a list, words and numbers, so just, a picture of what we're approving would be nice.
Regarding the presentation, I would recommend for the Sustainability Challenge, if you haven't heard, Cody Camacho was elected to his third term as student government president, and I'm sure this is something he'll continue when he gets into his office. So maybe in the fall, early fall, have student government come back and provide an update on their Sustainability Challenge and some of the ways the district has come alongside of them.
Okay, any other items?
Trustee Gutierrez, if I may. I had the privilege of attending a fundraiser recognition dinner at the State Center College District. Not really as a trustee, but more as a parent. But I do have a point at the end of this. So the State Center Community College District consists of Clovis Community College, Reading Community College, and Fresno City Community College. And they partnered with the Kiwanis of Fresno and Madera on their 21st annual recognition dinner to recognize their athletes with a GPA of 3.0 or better. And it was a beautiful event, and a lot of the athletes of the year, both male and female for each sport, shared their story with everyone in attendance. And it was each story was a very heartfelt story. So I would like to see Merced Community College do something similar in the future. Being a college athlete is different than, being a student, a full-time student taking 15 units, because they devote so much time to their college experience. And I want to echo some of the points that were made in the athletics presentation, that's a very valuable part of our culture here, and also of our community. So I would love to see that here at Merced Community College, because those guys sacrifice a lot of time away from home, and sometimes that's on the East Coast, many thousands of miles away from here. And I think it'd be a very great part of our culture here at Merced Community College.
So do you want to see it as an agenda item, or would you like for our staff to work on or discuss this item and bring it back to you at a later time?
So, since it's a new idea, I would like to approach it with baby steps. So I think having staff look at it at first is a great idea, President Chris.
Sounds good. We will.
And President Vitale, I think that I feel that if staff could start developing maybe some ideas on that expungement fair that I talked about. I've done some research on it, but I don't know if that's viable or expensive or reasonable to try to put together, but I think it would be valuable.
And remember earlier we talked about kind of a presentation about how we have used the one-time money up to now.
I've got that, and I'm assuming that is the desire of this board, so we'll make sure that we have that at the next board meeting.
All right, good points, good ideas. Item 14, there's no need for a second closed session. And so I think we met our goal. We are done prior to our goal. So the meeting is adjourned.